for watching Morning Markets. Normally, when we're on the eve of a bull market, it might feel a little bit more celebratory, but a lot of people are lamenting that this is coming on the back of really tech and nothing else. And this chart kind of drives the home how extreme it's been. This is a look at the NASDAQ 100, so the largest tech companies around, against the Russell 2000, which is their small cap index. And the outperformance of the NASDAQ 100 relative to those small caps is the most extreme it's been since the tech bubble. We've seen that word thrown around a lot, especially when it comes to the AI-fueled names. Let's bring in Eric Jackson, founder and president of EMJ Capital, joining us now. You were around for many cycles, that one being one of them, and we've heard this parallel brought up many times before. In what ways do you think we're like 2000, and what ways do you think we're totally dissimilar?
I think the first difference is that we had some crazy forward price to revenue multiples back in the heyday of the dot-com era. We do not have that today.
NVIDIA?
But NVIDIA's always been expensive, Amber.
Okay.
You know, I went back even in 2005, so like 15 plus years ago. People were, you know, if you read the stories about NVIDIA back then, people were lamenting that this is a 50x PE stock, you know, pricing all these revenues in the future. Why, you know, how can you get behind it, wait for a pullback? You never got the pullback, really. This has always been an expensive name, partly because people are always looking ahead. And NVIDIA, to this point, at least for the last 15 years, and certainly this year, has been delivering on kind of the promise of what's to come, most recently with AI.
It highlights, you know, CFA models don't know how to stuff in innovation, game-changing technology.
No, analysts are inherently look back, you know, and they're great at telling you just what just happened, but they're not that great at predicting the future all the time. So with a name like that, it's in a special category. But if you go back to your other question about other names, I mean, I think what's different now is we have, you know, obviously these big tech names like Apple, Microsoft, Google, that are just kind of head and shoulders in size and scale, you know, bigger than the market. I mean, we had a little bit of that back in the day, but, you know, probably it was like Cisco. It was maybe like the biggest name. Even though you could say that those big tech names today are expensive, they're not crazy expensive. And they're not 100x PE or 50x forward revenue. These are all very cash flow generating businesses. They've done well this year, I think, because of the interest in AI, which is real. It's a real thing. And it is logical that they've done so well compared to the rest of the market, because these are the giants that have the most money to spend on AI.
And I guess what's also changed is tech is not kind of this side thing anymore. I've seen conversations about these are the new industrials. This is the new General Electric, right? This is the pulse of our economy is these tech names.
You're right. You know, pick any kind of, you know, non-tech industry, and like if they don't have a tech strategy, if they don't have a strategy on, you know, CRM, you know, customer relationship management, AI, you know, what's their big data strategy? I mean, they're really left behind, even if it's, you know, as mundane as retail or anything else. Or what's your e-commerce strategy? So everybody has to incorporate tech.
And we're going to hear about that, especially on AI, hopefully from Apple. That's one of the things people are keen to know about. What is your AI strategy? Stock's at an all-time high, so I guess they're getting the benefit of the doubt that it's something and it's good. Yeah,
they really haven't gotten that AI kick the way that some other stocks like Microsoft, Google most recently has. When Sundar got up a few weeks ago and kind of really articulated their AI strategy, and it suddenly, you know, gave the market a lot more confidence in that stock. Apple hasn't done that yet. Today is an opportunity. I hope, you know, we'll see what they say. I think I'd be surprised if they didn't say something. They and Tesla, I think, are the two bigger tech names that really haven't, you know, fully told the story that there is to potentially tell with regards to AI and all the data that they've been capturing over the years and how they can leverage it. So I think, you know, that'll be, you know, what a lot of people are listening to, and of course the whole AR, you know, headset.
Do you think? I mean, Is that really going to be a thing? Google Glass is dead. There's reports that in the metaverse, even the metaverse employees don't meet in the metaverse, right? They're not using the technology. At $3,000 a pop, I mean, is this a game changer at all?
Well, the metaverse concept has certainly been a bust, or a mini bubble, if you want to kind of, especially with how Facebook's leveraged it in the last couple of years. But Apple has a track record of never bringing something to market unless, they have a good sense that the consumers are really going to go for it. And there's also a history, if you go back and remember when they launched iPad or when they launched iWatch, or not iWatch, but the watch, there's been an immediate kind of knee-jerk reaction from the press or from investors to say, shrug the shoulders. What's the big deal here? This is not an iPhone, so why should we care about it? And yet, over time, the thing kind of keeps building and building. Even, look at AirPods. AirPods was kind of seen as just an accessory. Now they're bigger than a lot of S&P 500 businesses on their own. So I don't think Apple would be willing to kind of share with the world, what this thing is all about, unless they had a good sense that this is going to be a new category-defining, product.
I guess so. When you say it like that, but I mean, don't you think if they were to say, if they're really ready to put out something that consumers want. I mean, given the fact that major tech companies have like Google have thrown away the headset, I would say that the evidence is not there that consumers want it the way it is for like a car, that we're still kind of just evergreen waiting for Apple to do something in that space.
Right. Well, but I just think that, Facebook and Google, they just have never shown that they truly have the finger on the pulse of what the consumer wants with any of their devices. Otherwise, I don't know, maybe Nest is a counterexample for Google, but that was an external acquisition. So I just think that you have to take all the Google glasses, the Facebook, when they did something with glasses, and they partnered with
Oculus.
They partnered with Ray-Ban or something. I don't know. They did try to get cool.
Yeah.
I just think you got to put
Snap did it as well.
Snap. Yeah. I just think that Apple's unto its own. And so it's kind of interesting to think about all the products that Apple's never brought to market. Like everyone speculated, we're going to have a car. We don't have a car yet. For a while, like 10 years ago, people were saying they're going to actually build a physical TV. Never came up with that.
Yeah.
They didn't see a need for that. They thought they could just rely on the hockey puck box that we can attach to all the regular TVs. So I'd give them the benefit of the doubt. I mean, we'll see in a few short hours what this thing looks like. But I think they'll probably nail it.
All right.